Hey everybody, Chase here again from Burnout Inc. and we are back to do another Marvel Legends review. This time it's going to be Thor from the brand new 2012 line. This is possibly the best Thor figure ever. It's definitely the best from Marvel Legends. Some people like the select version of it a little bit better. I like this one. This one is amazing. It has the best articulation and it has the very best sculpt I've ever seen from Thor. Let's get right to it. As you can see, he's got great articulation because you can put him in all sorts of different poses. And it's pretty much dead on to how he looks in the comics. To how he looks now. It is spot on. The face looks just like how he does. Mean little grimace there. The cape, everything. It just looks perfect. Definitely a 10 out of 10 on the mold. One little thing I want to mention, just to get it out of the way, is if you don't want him holding on to his hammer Mjolnir, which is just riddled with detail. It's got a lot of cracks and crevices in there from where he's hit people with it, and it looks great. Could have done a little bit more work on the handle, but hey, it's an action figure. We can let that slide. You can take out this part of his belt and you can attach the hammer to it. That way he's not always carrying it around. Get in there. There we go. And it just rests nicely there behind his cape. So that's very cool. Couple little things I wanted to point out was I like the detail in the plates. They've all got little scratches and scuffs to them. Same thing on the ankles, on his boots. They all have their own individual little scratches. The cape is very, very nicely done. It's made of a thicker type of rubber than most of the other capes I've seen. I know the Magneto one from the very first Marvel Legends line was very, very flimsy, and I think the Thor's from that line was pretty bad too. Not this one. It's thick, it's durable, it's got a nice shape to it. Totally rocks. The chainmail looks really sick. Like all of these are individually, I don't know the best way to say it, to where all these little plates, they're like individual little pieces. It's not just all one thing and then they just drew lines on it. There's texture to it, and you can feel them as you're going up. Kind of reminds me of the Abomination figure from one of the later Marvel Legends line that Toy Biz did, where he had scales. It's kind of like that same thing, but of course painted to look like armor. The face is spot on. Looks great. Maybe somebody could clarify this for me, but aren't the wings supposed to be the same color as the helmet? I always see them and they're white. I thought I swear it's supposed to be silver, just the exact same as the helmet, but I could be wrong. So, let's get to it. Articulation, he can rotate his head left and right. Can't really go up and down too much, but he can nod up and down and say, yes, the Avengers is one of the best movies ever. And so is Thor. Buy it now on DVD and Blu-ray, or download it digitally on iTunes. G-plug. His shoulders can rotate 360. You get kind of stopped by the cape, but you can force it, but really, why would you want to? It can rotate 360 at the shoulder and bicep. One cool thing I should point out is at his elbow, it can also rotate completely around. Can also, bend up and down. At his hands here, they can go in and out and rotate 360. Funny story, when I first bought this figure, both of his arms were at the elbow there, they were rotated this way and looked like this. And I thought something was just very, very off about the figure, and I could not figure it out for the life of me what was wrong, because it was bending. I was just like, well, you don't really get much articulation in there. And then I tried filming this a little while ago, and lo and behold, as I was showing this off, this part spun, and I was like, hey, look at that. So, yay, fun little story. His legs can go all the way forward, and all the way to the side, in case he ever decided to become a dancer. His knee joints, they do have a nice bend to them, but they're really skinny. They're not like a normal double-jointed knee. They don't have that like circular spot right there. Instead, you've got kind of like a skinny little peg right there, or joint. And I've seen other reviews, and they don't really like that, but you know, it doesn't bother me. It holds pretty good, and it doesn't distract from when you're posing him. I guess I should also mention his leg at the thigh can rotate all the way around, as it can at the ankle. The plates do kind of stop it, though. They can't really swivel, but they can go up and down, back and forward. So yeah, just very, very nicely done. Another cool thing about this figure, and oh crap, ab articulation, my bad. At the abs, he can rotate right and left. He can go 360, but there's really no point to it. They can go up and down a little bit too. In my Hope Summers review, her and Thor kind of have that same cut right there. It's not like Captain America's or some of the other guys where they kind of have like this weird kind of Tetris looking shape onto it, to where they can clearly do that. But unlike Hope Summers, Thor's works very well for his figure, and it doesn't distract from the mold. Plus, oh, that just looks slightly wrong. Plus, Thor is probably one of the bigger, just standalone Marvel figures. He is a giant. There's the Captain America one, and Thor just towers above him. Need another example? I'd be happy to give you one. Here's the Figuarts Vegeta, and again, Thor just towers above these guys, because he's God, as he should. So, that was a review. I hope you guys liked it, and we'll see you next time.